What I find unique about these three entrepreneurs here is they got started recognizing that there are some huge, huge companies that basically would be competing with them for some business, 30, 50, 100,000 people type organizations. So when you all three got started, was that on your mind that, hey, I've got to go up against a Teleperformance or, you name it? Or was it something else? Patrick, what are your thoughts?
No, it wasn't. It was people trust Jamaica with their weddings, their anniversaries, their birthdays, some of the most important things in their families' lives. Sometimes it was hard getting people off the phone because they want to talk about their experience in Jamaica. We have 3 million visitors a year, right? And so when we went up against the big players, we weren't looking at the big players, we were looking at the type of client. So we looked for sticky clients. What I mean by sticky clients is a client that, it takes 6 or 8 weeks to train that employee. And 2 weeks before that, we spent money training our employee to be trained by the client. So, when you look at a client like that, that person, that client, that organization will stay with you. And that's how we were able to achieve, and I considered our greatest achievement, which was an 8.3 annualized attrition rate. People stayed, staff stayed, companies stayed. And so you have all the employees were full-time, and we invested in them. We actually fired a client once. And the reason why we fired the client, I think Mike will be laughing, is the client refused to come to Jamaica to train the staff. If you have a client that's going to be a partner, and they're going to refuse to come to do the initial training, well, you're not going to be successful at it. So when you look at these big companies, find your spot. When we brought Amazon to Jamaica, for instance, that every year at Christmas they'd say, Patrick, we want to ramp by 500-600 people, and I just say no.
Was that back when Jeff Bezos would be out procuring?
Yeah.
Was it true? No.
Then they would hammer me, and they'd say, ramp by 500 or 600. I said, no, I'm going to ramp by 150. And they'd say, well, you're throwing away money. I said, no, I'm not, because I need to find a spot for those 150 people when you don't need them in February, late January, February, which I just switched them over to open enrollment in the healthcare sector, which they always needed at the start of that. So it was that kind of stability that allowed the clients to know that you're retaining a knowledge base. And we were fired by a client for political reasons. It was 2004 elections. And when the client told us in August that they wanted to move the business from Jamaica, we said, okay, fine. Always have a convenience clause in your contracts, guys. Make it painful for them to leave. But they realized that we had become their company. So we had to actually send our trainers to Orlando for months to train our successors. That's how far we'd gotten inside of the company. So sticky clients, sticky employees, and don't take on more. If you can't do it, don't do it. If you can't ramp by 1,000 in 6 months, don't say you're going to do it, because you're going to fail. and the client is going to remember, and most importantly, the client's customers. Clients don't call you, customers of the clients don't call you to say, hey, what a great job you did yesterday, you JPS go, thank you very much. They call because of a problem or they want something. And if there's this lack of a knowledge base and you take on too much, at the end of the day, you won't be able to provide the service that is required.
Okay, very good. Any thoughts, Jackie?
I did not see the larger international players as a threat. As a matter of fact, I partnered with some of them to facilitate them coming to Jamaica, so I feel that we were very instrumental in bringing some of these players to Jamaica. So we have a certain amount of pride about the growth of the industry and our involvement in helping to facilitate that. I look at it from two different angles. When clients are looking at bringing their business to Jamaica, some of them are very passionate about working with someone that knows the culture. So you'll have a lot of people that, although they're international players, they're very passionate about working with someone that's vested in the country, that knows the culture, knows the people, and can grow with their company and help them to understand our culture. And looking at it from the other angle, Jamaicans have what I would call Jamaica pride. And so we find that we have a lot of stickiness with our employees staying with us because they're very passionate about working with a locally owned and operated company. So I think both of those go hand in hand, and so it really hasn't been a challenge in competing in that space with the international players.
Okay,
at least that's been my experience.
Yanni?
You can't be scared of your competitors, big or small. I mean, the story of David and Goliath alone shows you that, as a small player going into the industry, you just have to believe in your foundation, your fundamentals as to why you started the business. And you just have to keep going. And you just have to keep building on your business development plans, keep bringing people down here. I mean, what we've found over the years, once we bring somebody here, even if they go and meet with one of the larger players in Jamaica, 9 times out of 10, they end up coming to us. And they come to us, and their most frequent response is because what you see is what you get. It's not a fancy sales show. It's not, we're just going to throw people and money at it. We're coming in to build a team, develop a team, and to exceed the expectations of the client, because that's our core competence. That's what we do every day of life. And the minute and even to be afraid of a bigger client or a bigger vendor is it just can't be in your mindset at all. There's other things to be afraid of. You got payroll to make, you got computers to buy, you got facilities to develop, so that you can bring on more clients. So it can't be in your mindset. If it's in your mindset, you're going to fail.